Interview presented by Canaceutics Medical Dispensary, proudly serving New Mexico cannabis patients with trustworthy all-natural medicine since 2010.
Welcome to Cage Minds. I'm Micah Frankel. At a secret location, I've tracked down Javier Cepeda as he prepares for LFA 163. Going to be heading to Belton, Texas. Going to be taking on Kevin Fernandez. Sir, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
And I'm good. It's been a while since we've done one of these in person. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. I haven't seen you in a while too, besides the boxing gym.
We're back. We're talking about MMA, and I'm beat you up a little bit. This is where you should be. This is the sport you belong in, I believe.
Yeah, I do too, man. I love boxing. Grew up doing boxing and everything. You know my background. But I feel like MMA is more my sport because it's a dog sport. You get in the cage. You fight like. The last man's going to come out alive. The one that stays in there is going to be dead, basically.
Was it something in the last fight that you had in the boxing ring where you're like, okay, now I've just had enough? Or was it the success that you've had in MMA that was like, well, let me keep going down this road? Like, what played into finally you figuring out that you want to be more in the cage than in the ring?
Boxing, I took that boxing fight on a 10-day notice. The kid, Martin Armijo, he's a good fighter and everything. I seen his pro debut. I didn't think nothing much of it, so I was like, yeah, let's take this fight real short notice. I just came off a big knockout victory in December previous to the boxing fight, so I was like, let's see what I could do in the boxing ring once again. But I wasn't training, obviously, for the prior 3-4 months, and it was a mistake. I feel like I beat him, but the judges didn't see it as that. They made him as the hometown boy. I was the guy from Roswell out of town, so they gave it to him, even though I felt like I took 3 out of or at least 2. It should have been a draw, or I took 3 out of 4 rounds, in my opinion.
How does all that boxing experience help your MMA game?
All you have to do is go check out my Instagram, see my last 2 victories. It'll tell you everything you need to know.
What do you need to focus on to be successful against Kevin Fernandez? That's the next body in front of you. He's got back-to-back finishes. I think this is a good name to add to your resume.
I'm not going to say nothing much. I'm just going to let my work show off what I've been putting in the gym, and you guys will just see, July 21st.
Is this a full commitment, would you consider it now, to MMA again? We saw that in your amateur days when you were making waves. Would you say that you're that committed again to the sport?
Oh, yeah, I am. I signed with Iridium. Big shout out to them, sports agency. They actually helped me book this fight, so I'm going to stick with them. I trust them, and I'll let my career unfold in their hands, see what they can do for me, and I'll be in the gym doing my part and showcasing it in the ring.
A bit different of a training environment than where we used to be under Chris Luttrell. Congratulations to him on the retirement, but how different has even the last fight and this fight in preparation been? Different gym, different bodies, not that same voice.
It's been hard. It's like it's Chris Luttrell was my head coach for a long time. I trusted everything he told me to do. We trained all the time, Monday through Friday. He was like everything to me. He was my head coach, told me do this, do that. But now that he's been absent for this training camp and my boxing training camp, I found a new semi-head coach. I consider him my head coach now, Sergio. He's been helping me a lot with my boxing, and then I just been coming here to Ray Borg's. Big shout out to Ray Borg right here in the red. He's sparring right now, but he's been helping me out with my MMA game and my overall. And I think this is going to be the successor gym and the coaches that's going to be helping me lead through LFA, hopefully to UFC.
Talking about Ray, he's been one of the top flyweights, bantamweights in the world. How much of an advantage for you is it having someone with a wealth of knowledge like that around you?
It's a huge advantage. We just finished. He was my last round for my circle right now for this fight. So it's a big inspiration having him help me out, and I'm hoping that he'll stick with me throughout my career and hand over some knowledge of his. So we'll see what happens later on in the years.
And then also, as I'm in here watching get some of these rounds in, the guy shouting at you while Ray's giving you the rounds, it's your brothers, Andreas Quintana. What does it mean, you two, this relationship, that you guys in this together and that you're so supportive to each other?
You know, Andres is another huge inspiration. He's the top dog in my head. He's the biggest name, I think, ever. Like, to me, like, I always look up to him ever since I was a kid. He whooped my ass all the time, and still to this day he does. You know, he beat 3 guys one night. What more can I ask for? He's my big brother. He's a big successor. You know, he's made it to big shows, so I want to give a huge shout out to him. He's teaching someone right now, but he came here specifically to watch me do my last circles. He's cornering me my last, he cornered me all my MMA fights as a pro and some of them as an amateur. So just big, huge shout out to him. He's a great big brother, and if you have a chance to follow him on Instagram, hit him up. He's a cool guy. He's awesome. Give him a follow on Andres. I don't know what his Instagram is right now, but you'll find him.
It might be at the Bullet 145 or Bullet MMA 14. We'll get it out there to you people. Believe me, it's somewhere. You've seen it before here on Cage Minds. So this is a story that you're writing. How do you think the next chapter is going to look? You're transitioning back from kind of swimming around in the sport. Now you're fully committed. What do you think this next chapter is going to look like for you?
You know, I see either after this fight, I see myself winning this fight, the next fight, hopefully get offered a title fight, win that, probably defend it, if not go to UFC, and from there it's a little bit too far out to see, but I see myself being in the UFC at least, or not at least, but like that's the main goal, and then be successful in it.
Looking at the flyweight division, the success that they're having, the division went from nearly being cut by the UFC to being one of the most exciting. What do you see out of the guys up there in that highest level that you're challenging or chasing? I mean,
you know, there's some good guys out there. I feel like I belong there because I feel like, you know, I came off 2 knockout victories in the first round. How many more bodies do I got to take? How many more heads do I got to knock off? You know, what more is it going to take to keep on beating these guys out of the UFC to get into the UFC? So if it means to almost brutally murder or hurt someone so bad that's going to get me into the UFC, then so be it. Kevin Fernandez, I'm sorry, but you're the next one in line, and I feel like I'm going to have to hurt you real bad to get noticed.
This has been Cage Minds. That's Javier Cepeda, and I thank you for the time, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.